Well, I think the story from camp was Doug Belk saying that he's going to play lots of different guys, right? He said he's going to rotate people in that secondary. So it's not as though he's going to rest on just a few core performers, but he wants a lot of guys to get in there, be thrown into the fire, to get experience. And like, so, I mean, he made no secret of that. And so that tells me like he wants everyone ready to play, everyone ready to contribute. And hey, if you're a coach, like I like that, because that means like everyone in the room is being coached to play. You know, it's not as though you have a few guys who are set to play and other guys who are going to wait their turn. And we remember Alex Grinch, he seemed to play favorites last season, that he had his guys, and you know, and when other guys seemed to be meriting at least a chance to play, Grinch stood in the way of that. So if Doug Belk, this is a culture of competition. It's reminiscent of Pete Carroll. You know, everyone's going to get their opportunity. You go on the field, show what you've got, and like then later on in the season there might be more of a pecking order. But right now he wants to be rotating guys. So that's an interesting little nugget from camp this past week, and I find it generally encouraging. But obviously, as Shakespeare said, play is the thing, and how the guys do perform against LSU going to give us our first look at that secondary. But I'm optimistic about the secondary.
Yeah, we've been high on the secondary for just quite a while, and then all the additions that we've made in the offseason leading up to right now, there's a lot to discuss and enjoy about that.
Hey, so I have to, watch what I say, obviously, because
yes,
I did
please
get
do
additional information. However, just with the information that I have, without getting any insight, concerned about the defense whatsoever, man. And normally, like on a Coach Riley offense, right? Normally, you're not concerned because he usually has like a top 10. But I'll say this: Caleb's not here, and I don't know. I'll just say that. I went from like really concerned about the defense, and now it's like, man, Miller just had one game. Yeah, it was a great game, but it's just one game, So yeah, that's just my take right now. That I'm not concerned whatsoever. I could put money that our defense is going to be a lot better. When we were at the bottom, we have to be top 50. I have no doubt that potentially even better. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Well, listen, I agree with you 100%. That's why I was being a bit cheeky last week, but I kind of mean it. I mess around with Gabe over the Trojan Blade all the time about how like I'm a roller coaster throughout the whole summer. I'm just like, high, then I go low, then I get high, then I get conservative, then I get really aggressive and excited. So that's why for this week I said, look, let's do it. Let's just call our shot now. I mean, it's a bit silly, really, this time of season for any team at all. But for a team with so much upside and promise that has not been seen, like USC, it's really easy to get caught up in this excitement. But again, that's what college football is all about, guys. If you guys want to get all serious on me and start throwing, this and that, how did they perform last year? You guys, this defense is about as brand new as you can get. So, I mean, there's a lot of guys coming back, but even the guys that are coming back, I think that you're going to see a new them. You're seeing it in size. You're going to see it in attitude. You're going to see it in preparation. The one thing coming out of camp, not just from me, but like from everybody and all the observers I've talked to that have been at practice, is just the attention to detail and the level of coaching that these guys are getting. I mean, they talked about in the spring how there's going to be just development. I love it about these guys because they have these themes that they kind of hit on, and development. When he's talking about the new staff he brought in, it was development. And everything I saw at practice was development. So I'm really excited. And I'm with you, Roy. It's kind of weird. We're going through the season, and I'm feeling a lot more settled on the defense than I am completely sold on the offense. But that's a great thing because we have some firepower on the offense. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, as much of a disaster as the defense was last season, because of all the guys coming in on this new staff, yeah, I do feel pretty comfortable about the defense. And I think that the offensive line is really the hinge point, and that's going to show us if all of this comes together. And if the offensive line does come together, think USC's in for a very good, maybe even great year. But like, I do think the defense is going to be solid, and we've talked about it all off season, and then we're just going to repeat it a few more times before the LSU game. Give us a top 35, top 40 defense. I know some would insist, hey, I think we can be top 25, top 30. I will take top 35 right now. You give me a top 35 defense and in scoring and most of the other metrics, USC should have at least 9 wins. And I think the Trojans are very capable of that. And I'd say right now, more likely than not to have a top 35 defense, because you look at what D'Anton Litt did at UCLA. It's not as though he was walking into Cadillac talent, all right? He took less than elite talent and molded it into a very, very good unit. And I might add, in a conference, the Pac-12, which was loaded with good offenses, with skill position talent, more, I would say, than the Big Ten here. Because, like, who's the third best offense in the Big Ten, right? Like Oregon with Dylan Gabriel should be really good. Maybe Ohio State comes together just because the offensive line and wide receivers are so good. Will Howard's, the question mark there at quarterback. But, like, after that, I mean, some people think Drew Aller at Penn State's going to be really good. Of course, Miller Moss has a chance to be really good. But, like, you get past the first top 3-4 offenses in the Big Ten, you're not seeing a lot of elite quality. So, a D'Anton Lynn coach defense, most games in this Big Ten should be able to do really, really well. And so, really, if USC can split LSU and Notre Dame, those two big non-conference games, like the chances of being able to go 7-2 in the Big Ten with a D'Anton Lynn defense, and also with Coach Henne, woof woof, Matt Entz, Doug Belk, as we mentioned earlier, 7-2 in the Big Ten, pretty realistic. At Michigan's going to be really tough. Home against Penn State is going to be really tough, but USC is going to be favored in the other games. A good defensive showing this year, very, very realistic, very, very attainable for USC, in my opinion.
And Roy, without going into any kind of detail, I mean, I've been pumping a little bit the run game. How I think that we're really going to see just Woody Marks going crazy. I like the added size we have on the offensive side. I know a lot of you guys have played a lot together. I just like the idea of these guys all playing together. Any insights that you can share that's above board, that are you excited about the running game this year?
Listen, I think where my son will excel is the run game, and it looks like that's happening. And it's being shared, right? People are talking about it. It's not like I'm providing. So yes, I am excited about that. I believe that there's going to be a big focus on pulling, right, running, getting to the second level. I'm excited because that's the stuff that I enjoy with my son, and I think that's where we're moving. We're going into the Big Ten, and we need to be able to run. And I believe we're going to be pushing and focusing on that. So yeah, excited.
Yeah, having those really athletic guards, right? They're not as nasty and not big, but also can get out and run and pull and just do all that stuff that you're going to see in the Lincoln Riley offense. I agree. I big smile cracked on my face when he started talking about your son getting healthy for the first time, getting in the mix at right guard. Really positive news. I did drop that in one of my articles at Trojan Wire. I can't remember which one it was, but really, really excited for Micah to see what he can do. Because listen, Roy, I've been pumping Micah for a couple of years now. When I saw his high school tape, he's a monster. I want to see that play with all that aggression that he has. He gets out there just finishing plays and stuff. So I'm more than excited, and really appreciating the fact you took time out to give us a call. And being here every week, by the way, Roy, really appreciate you being here, as well as all of you guys. But it's not, we don't exactly have a lot of parents watching. And so I really appreciate, Roy, you come in and making a phone call, because this is what this show's about. It's about you. It's about the fans. It's about the parents. It's about anybody who wants to come in. It's about, listen, I see a bunch of you Michigan guys in here. We got a game coming up in about 5 weeks. So I can't stress it. Well, no, we have a bye. But I can't stress it enough that after that bye, it's going to be it's gonna be go time in Ann Arbor, and I'm going there for my first time ever to a Michigan game. So that's gonna be really exciting for me as well. But Roy, thank you so much for stopping in.
That game's gonna be crazy.
Are you going to the game? Are you gonna get out there for that game?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Michigan, forget about it. That's a must.
Yeah, for sure.
That is a must.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that came on, as soon as we entered the Big Ten, that's the kind of atmosphere, that's the kind of game that was going through my head, right? Whiteouts, against Penn State going in. Well, I've already done that one for the Ohio State. We've been there, done that. But now going into Michigan is something. The Trojan fans, if you're old enough to the 90s, you probably witnessed that horrible thing that happened in Happy Valley. Not so happy for the Trojans back in '94. But, and then obviously we went into the shoe with a freshman quarterback and Matt Barkley and just took care of business. Stephon Johnson going off the right side, and rest in peace, Joe McKnight and Matt just going right down the field. What a great game that was. But it's been a long time. I think it's 1954. Someone in the chat correct me. Last time we played in Ann Arbor. So that's something special when I thought about it right away. But hey, listen, appreciate it, Roy. Yep. We'll keep in touch and we'll talk very soon. All right. Fight on. Say hi to Micah for all of us.
Yeah, Matt. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome.
All right.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.